Okay, YouTube, as usual, I've been looking through YouTube trying to find the answer to my question, and I couldn't. So, well, I found some answers, but they were crappy. So we're going to show you how I came up with a solution to what seems like a pretty typical problem for anybody with a three-point hitch, and we will show you that here. So here we have a three-point. This is a Category 1 three-point hitch that's on a John Deere 1025R. So this is the Category 1. It's a small size Category 1. Some people call this a 0-1 category, but it's not. It's just a Category 1. And this is just your regular drawbar. Got that at Tractor Supply today. And basically, I use a 1 7/8 ball hitch to pick up what would be a 2 5/16 inch ball hitch on my trailer. And I'm too lazy to get off, as most of you are too. And so I want to use the 3-point hydraulics so I can lift it up. I don't just want to hook up a drawbar here and have like a 2-inch receiver and then have something like this that goes in there and I have to get off and jack things up and down. So anyway, I use this, right? Well, that works really good until you pull away and then it spins around like this. So that spinning drawbar is a problem that I've been racking my brain today trying to come up with solutions. And there's a couple of different commercially available brackets that will wrap around this, and they go out here and they go at an angle and then you bolt through, and that's a pain in the butt. As soon as I go to another 3-point fixture, I'm going to have to redo that. And I want something that's toolless. So I just went through all sorts of different configurations of different things, and I'm going to show you what I found that works. And so if you look at this, this is just something I found at Menards. Nothing special. It looks like it's 11,000 pound braking strength, and it's just a heavy duty D-ring sort of mount. And it's got a solid ring, which is nice. And it looks like this thing's stamped with 11,000 pounds. Now you can get just rings that are circular, but you'll notice that it's a pretty tight tolerance what we're going to do here. So first things first, let's go ahead and pull off this pin. We're going to drop the drawbar down. Doing this one-handed is always fun. We're going to grab this. We're going to put the point this direction. We're going to slide that on. You see how it goes all the way up and down, and there's no issue. It won't spin, however. Okay, so I'll just bring that about there, and then we can go ahead and put this back on. And you guys have probably already deduced what's going to be happening here, and you're thinking, well, that was pretty simple. Why did that take you hours? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not very good at this stuff, but it still took me forever to figure out an angle that would work. So you slide that through there. This is not the screw style. The screw style is what I prefer, but you can't fit that through here without modifying. Now you could open that up if you wanted. You could do it that way. And we didn't want to do something small like this. I was hoping to do a pin like this, but it just gets too long. So basically, you find the perfect spot where that lines up, which means this tips just a little bit forward, and you have to find the perfect spot where all these angles line up, and the next thing you know, you'll be in right there, and it's going to go all the way through. And I will find that perfect spot with 2 hands and come right back. Before we continue, I figured you better see what size this is. This looks like it's 5/8 by 3 1/8, which will help you to size up this this clevis. So again, I'm going to use both hands and come right back and show you that. So you guys can see the sweet spot there. There's not an overly large amount of pressure on there, but there is a little bit of pressure. And you notice that the ball is pointing just slightly forward, but it's got just a little bit of play on it. Now that play is not going to be a huge issue because as you move your 3-point up and down, it's going to change the angle of this again. And then of course you may end up dragging, depending on the way your hitch is configured, you may drag on your drawbar a little bit on the sides. So, but this is by far, in a way, the easiest way I found to do it. And yes, it did take me, full disclosure, another minute or so to kind of fiddle with it to get it to the right angle. And that's how I do that, or that's how I'm going to do that. That's going to stop the drawbar from spinning. Of course, I'm going to have this thing in the end. That'd be handy. But there you have it. So I think this thing was like $7. $7 or $7.99 or $6.99, something in that order. And then this particular clevis was $12. Or $12.99 or whatever that is. So it's definitely not a free solution, but the idea is it's toolless, which is important to me. And I can hook it onto my drawbar, and when I take the drawbar off, I can hook it up on this bar and have it with me whenever I'm ready to use it. And then that stops it from moving around. So when you go and pick up your load, you just pick it up and you don't have to get off and, you know, run anything. You just move the 3-point up and down and go right under and you're done. Thanks for watching, guys. I figured you guys might want to see this actually operate. So, got the 3-point control here. This goes up, goes down, it goes up. And so at your all the way up extreme on this particular tractor, you're going to be pretty forward. But the thing is, for practical purposes, you're not generally going to have it all the way up. And it's just like anything else. You just kind of run it where you need it. And in my case, that's going to give me exactly what I need. And it's a toolless install and uninstall, which means that when I'm not using it, I can use this one single big zip tie and just set it into this little area. I've seen these instruction manual holders have these things. Sometimes they're mounted over here, so it might even be even easier for some of you guys that have that configuration. Anyway, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like it, smash the thumbs up there. Thanks guys for watching. Okay guys, I didn't want to shortchange you, so I'm out here on the 1025R. Got our little drawbar configuration, and basically up and down using this, and I need to go pick up that trailer. So I'm going to set it to the lowest setting, and we're just going to drive it. So nothing super fancy here. We'll see if I can do this one-handed. So we just drive out here. Getting ready to do some work. So this has a hydrostatic transmission, so I just got to press the pedal, kind of line this all up. And all I have to do is just move this handle. See if I can show you both. I can't show you both at the same time. Sorry. So we'll just bring this up. When you're up off the landing gear, you can just drive off. And as you can imagine, you get I'm dragging it. That's where the scratches come from. Since I don't need this trailer, I'm just going to go put it right back. Of course, it's hard. Get right over the landing spot. Let it down. Let it roll out of the ball joint. And you're done. Simple as that. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, YouTube. I want to add some things to the video. You've already seen this working with the solution using this, I believe it's 3 3/4 inch with a 5/8 pin. And you hook it on here and you've got the D-ring thing that came off of this heavy duty 11,000 pound. Just to refresh your memory, this was like $6.97 and then this one was $15. It was $14.99. So plus tax or whatever if you got to pay tax. So those two items worked, but it allowed it to be tipped forward almost a little bit too much. Or it actually kind of forced it to be tipped forward. So I got to thinking about it and I thought, okay, well, maybe it's worth considering one of these things. This is the tool that's supposed to keep this thing in check. I'm just going to show you why I don't like it. I bought it just to show you. It's got a nylon nut, a nylock. This must be grade 8. Looks like it's pretty well weather resistant coating. So I'll just show you how this works, and I'll show you why we chose against keeping it. So you've got this pin, we pull it off, the drawbar drops, and then this thing can just slip on and over, except it can't. So it isn't toolless, like I was afraid, because of this swivel joint. So you have to undo that, you have to open it up, and then you just put it on like this, okay? So that part's not such a big deal, okay? You can do that, and then this thing comes up, and it goes through the hole, and then that goes back together, and then as you can see, there's a problem there, because how do you prevent that from tipping? Well, the way you prevent that from tipping is you basically have to get that locked down, okay? When you lock down, it's gonna try to bite onto here. I don't even know for sure that that's gonna keep. So in my case, it can be brought to fall off anyway. Now, I'm not saying that's gonna happen by default, and maybe you could just put another bolt here, and then that would force it out at an angle, and that gives you some play. I have an even better solution. Now, this is 20 bucks, so it's not a horrible solution. It's pretty cheap.
Plus pins.
Plus, well,
or a pin if you need it.
So if you were going to do that solution, I've got a toolless solution here. It's like $3 per, and then this would come in here, and you would drop this pin down. But as you can see, we're running into problems. So then you take off your bolt, and then all of a sudden you can make it work, but you really got to kind of work it, you know. And there's that. I just want to show you why I don't like the solution. This might be the perfect solution for you, so I don't want to shortchange it. So you find the sweet spot. You can't quite get it to work, and you see you can't get that pin in there. So you've got this here, and it's allowed to play, so you go to pick up your trailer, and it doesn't roll out altogether, okay? So you're okay. Unless this happens to walk there, of course, it's not going to be. Here, let's do a proper simulation, folks. I don't want to be discrediting this solution here. Okay, so this comes over here and it does that. So the only way you can prevent that would be to put some sort of checking, like a washer, between this part. It would go like here, okay? You'd like a big nut or something, couple of big pan washers. And then that prevents that from sliding out. Again, okay, so that works pretty good. And then when you play this up and down, it has the same issue where this wants to tip as the 3-bar goes up and down, or the 3-point. So let's take that off. That solution has been fired because it doesn't work that good. And it's expensive. By the time you spend $3 plus $3, you're $26 into that solution. And you've got a somewhat toolless solution, but it still takes a lot of effort. So I said, okay, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be an easier way than doing the two things like I originally showed you. So I thought to myself, just get a bent D-ring. Doesn't work. It gives you the same problem of having this D-ring. It gives you the same problem with this D-ring. You end up with two of them, but you have a little bit easier time putting it together. And it allows for too much slop. So then I was like, duh, just get a bigger one. So we get a bigger one. This one has 3/4. This has a 3/4 inch pin, okay, so there's not much slop. These are 3/4 inch holes, okay. So you drop this down over the top, and then you slide this back, right? Then eventually, you get it to a point where you're like, dang it, I can't get anything to work because this pin won't go in. And you could sit here and struggle with this, and it is possible that you might be able to get yours to go. Like, for instance, if you had some damage on the casting here, or if you took the grinder to this top edge, which I would not recommend. This is all load-bearing stuff. And then I'm like, why don't I just use a 5/8 pin? And then this 5/8 pin, it will line up literally perfectly. You can just move the ball a little bit. And of course, whenever you start that camera, things don't line up. Okay, so then you can throw this in here.
It did work perfectly. Okay.
So it never fails. You stop the camera for 1 second and everything falls into place. So this goes in. It's not got a ton of slop, but it fits okay. And then I've got a self-retaining clip here, which works really nice. It's easy to get at, okay? And look, it's even got less play than using the proper Category 1 tool that's designed to do this. Now, of course, you might say, but then you're bearing all that load on that pin. Yes, you're bearing the lateral force here, but that 5/8 pin is really strong, guys. and it's being held by the clevis on the top and the bottom, or the shackle on the top and the bottom. This thing is probably a little bit stronger, I'll give you that credit. But the thing is, there's still pins involved in keeping everything located. So if you look at the points of failure, you're really similar on here. And I feel like this is the easiest solution. Plus then, if you're not worried about using the ball hitch, when you go out there with your drawbar, you can undo this. And like me, I'm going to keep this pin in here too, because then I've got both of them on hand when I need it. It's the easiest solution. And just to give you an idea of price point, so this particular shackle, I believe that shackle was $19.99. And I'm just going to double check that. This is a actually, why don't you pause it for a second?
Okay.
So this one's 3/4 pin and then 4 1/4. So it's $20. Okay, so it's $19.99 for this. So $19.99, and then you've got probably $3 to $2 in this pin too. So it's still cheaper than the correct solution. And then you have a double use tool, because you can use that for all your clevis needs too, or your shackle needs. So in my opinion, that's a way better solution. It's going to work for us a lot better, and I can do all the different things I want with it. Plus we end up with a 4 1/4 inch shackle. So I'm going to return all the rest of the crap now that I bought like 20 items and spent like $150 trying to figure out what I needed, because that's usually about the way it goes around our house. But anyway, as you can see, so now we're going to go ahead and start this up. We'll show you it moving up and down, just so you can kind of see that it works. Sorry, it's going to get loud. So even at the highest point, you still have a little teeny bit of play. So remember, if you got your landing gear down on the ground and you lift it up, you're going to need to go pretty high. And my problem is that the ball hitch was already this direction and then some. So I was dragging it on the side every time I make a turn. So this gives us that little bit of play. As you're pulling, it's gonna want to go straight up. It's gonna work a lot better. It's just as cheap, and it's a dual use tool. You can't beat it. It's a better solution. Thanks for watching. Come back for more.